Greetings, alumni. You are the alumni. I am the Chancellor. Together, this is Romance University, the Professor's Lounge. Now, I wanted to start by saying thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday. Always feels nice. It's one of the nice things about social media is getting that flood of love on your birthday. And I just want to say thank you for that. I had multiple questions about, with such short time periods before and after getting the script and filming, how do you work on character development and quirks, character traits? Now, that is a difficult question because every actor's process is different. But there is one word that can encapsulate what it means to be an actor, I believe. And that word is, write it down, relaxation. You have to be in a state of relaxation when action is called. What do I mean by that? Well, let's go watch a scene right now, okay? I'm gonna play a scene from the Santa class. This is just one that I thought of as far as, you saying there being quirks. So let's play that right now.
Dan,
Pleasure to see you, as always.
pleasure's all yours.
Just gonna go grab a candy cane latte. Can I get you a drink or a piece of pie?
Maybe some peace and quiet.
You know, once upon a time you liked me.
Well, that was before you took a job as an errand boy working for the enemy.
Errand boy? No. I'm a Santa trainer. Best Santa trainer in America, according to the Santa Sentinel. You can keep it because I got plenty.
Is that so?
You know, all this hostility isn't very Christmassy. What's your problem with me?
I don't have a problem. I've got problems. Plural. Your school is draining the life out of mine. You drive an overcompensation mobile and you are dressed like a literal red flag.
So you're saying we're not going on that second date anytime soon?
It wasn't a date.
Met on a dating app.
It was a scheduled interaction designed for social networking with the potential of, recreation.
Translation was a date.
Translate this.
For what it's worth?
I had a good time.
Okay, so there's a lot of little beats happening there. The roll down the window, the nose on the window, the straightening of the tie, the catching, there was a lot of little things happening. Now, you probably wonder, is it in the script? Is it planned? No, it's not planned. And what I mean by relaxation is for those types of scenes, and oftentimes, I'm going to say a few things at once here, okay? And I'm going to ramble on. But in a scene like that, it's a long scene. There's a lot going on. If you go in planned with exactly what you want to do, and the other actor doesn't agree to that, then you're left acting alone. So what you want to do is just be relaxed and really listen to what your partner's saying. And you just respond to your partner. And it sounds easy, it seems easy, and it kind of is, as long as you're prepared. If you have all of your lines memorized in a way that you don't have to think about them, you're just playing. And every scene is going to be a little bit different. Every take, my apologies, is going to be a little bit different. You're going to find something on one take. You're going to maybe add that to the next take. You're going to do different variations of it. And unless you have the opportunity, like Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood, he spent a year working on that voice alone. My name's Daniel Plainview. This is my son, H.W. I'm an oil man. I go from state to state looking for oil-rich land. That voice took him forever to discover. He does every single take the same, and he's dropped down, and he has developed that character over time. We don't really have the ability to do that. Now, I have seen, Niall Mater did a Rip in Time. He had to play a character, so he would have approached that a bit differently. I saw Biltmore Christmas. Christopher would have had to think a little more about the character he was playing. But oftentimes, you are, it's kind of in the script who your character is. And really your job is to be in a state of relaxation and just be in the moment and play and allow discovery to happen. Because like I said, no two takes should be exactly the same. You're going to find and discover things in the moment. And that's the most beautiful part. And you will drive home at the end of the day and go, oh, I should have done that, or I should have done this. I stopped doing that a long time ago because you could do it 100 times and every time is going to be different. Unless the director knows exactly what they want and they're going to direct you to that, you're going to come in with some choices and it might be wrong. I've done that. I've made a choice. I've come in and the director's like, that's just don't play it that way. Maybe go this way. And you're like, okay, well, I went for it there. In fact, I'm going to show you another scene right now, and I am going to share this. Okay, this was a moment. Emotion can be difficult to draw upon take after take after take after take. Some people can do it quite easily, and somebody like myself, I can do it the first couple takes, and then after that, I feel like I am acting. So, in fact, I just saw a clip of Matthew McConaughey talking about a scene in Interstellar. If you've seen the movie, you know that he's an astronaut that essentially has to go to space, black hole. As he gets up there, time goes by much quicker for him. So basically, time is standard for him, but on space, or sorry, on Earth, time is going by like you start hearing this clicking, ticking clock. Every time you hear that, it's like 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. So his children age 40 years in the movie, but they send him videos. So he sees them rapidly aging while he's just aging at a regular. He's only been gone a month in his mind. And he has a moment where he sits down and he watches his son. He left, his son was 10. Now his son's 35 and has his own baby. And McConaughey just weeps. And he talked about that scene where he walked in to shoot it that day. And Christopher Nolan's setting up the camera and he's saying, okay, we'll start out wide, we'll come in. And McConaughey's in the moment and he writes on a piece of paper, see you, and he hands it to him. See you means close up. Basically, he's saying, just come in for the close up right away. And Nolan says, okay, well, we'll do a rehearsal first. And McConaughey says, no, he just does this. Basically, just roll it. And the take that you see of him just weeping, you can find it on YouTube, was the first take, and it's the only one they did.
Murphy still grabbed his car. She crashed it. She's okay though.
And I believe what he said. He goes, basically the first and second take are the most raw and honest and in the moment. Every take after that is acting. Then you have to recreate it. And there was a moment in Cherry Lane this year where I wanted to cry in this moment. Okay, I felt it was powerful for my character to have a moment where he cries. Now that can be tricky. Okay, when you put that on your character, or if it's in the script, your character cries. If it comes naturally, then great. But here's a moment where a father and son haven't really connected in life, and for the first time ever, his father reaches out and touches his shoulder and says, "I'm proud of you." And it catches him by surprise, and he gets emotional, and he says, "Thank you, Dad." And it's this moment, and it was beautiful. And the first time I did it, weeping. But while we did it, there was a cue that just as that happens, the lights turn on behind me and Christmas is saved. Whatever, the lights come back on, the power comes back on in the house. So it was a tricky moment because as we were doing it, we also had a lighting cue. So as I was in it, they had to say lights, then the lights would happen, then we had to turn around and react to it. Now, it's nobody's fault, but what happened was as we were doing it, the lighting cue got put at the wrong spot. So the lights would come on and you would hear somebody say lights and we were supposed to react, but I had yet to do the emotional part. But I got emotional and we had to keep restarting it. And we probably did it. I was emotional, we did it, a lighting cue mishap, do it again, emotional, did it. Probably 3 or 4 times there were just some miscues, okay? And then once it was time to we figured out the cues, I couldn't really draw upon it anymore. And I was frustrated. But I also know that if you try to force it, it looks forced. And then you're like, oh, I just don't believe it. So I knew that as, okay, so now my job is to just be relaxed, be in the moment, and just look at my dad and say thank you and let the audience cry for me. That's my job in that moment, to be honest in how I felt then. So there's that. Okay. And you might think, well, how do you get to a state of relaxation? So if you've ever studied acting, I studied for years, and one of the things we did was called the chair exercise. I don't really do it as often anymore, but if I need to, I will go to my trailer and you just sit in your chair. And you would start every acting class like this. And you just breathe and you continue to take deep breaths and you do short, sharp sounds out. Huh. And you move your body and emotions just come out and you don't judge them. And you think, well, where are these emotions coming from? It's like if you look at a child expresses themselves all the time and they don't judge their emotions. The older you get, you start to be told, don't cry, don't feel this, don't feel that. And we suppress our emotions. And when we suppress our emotions, we get tense and we get aches and we get pains and we get diseases. All these things happen because we don't allow ourselves to emote anymore and we judge them. Maybe some people don't, but the point of the exercise is to just, in a non-judgmental way, allow all your emotions to come out, release the tension that's in your body, get loose, get relaxed, and be present for your scene partner and for the director so that you can tell the story from a clear vessel. I sort of think of it as. Did I answer the question? I sort of did and I sort of didn't. Now, as far as preparation, like character work goes, that's a whole other thing too, depending on, again, the type of role. These movies tend to not have as much time to do things called animal work, and there are all these different exercises you can do to build a character. But oftentimes it's sort of just yourself in that situation. And as easy as that sounds, think about the next time you're with somebody that you're just comfortable being around and just notice the way they move and the way that you move and how comfortable you are in talking. That's all you want to replicate when you're on camera. Because there's a bunch of people watching you and there's this big lens right here, this big black eye just looking at you. And it knows when you're lying. It picks up on all the lies. So don't come in with too many planned things. Because I've also done that where I'm like, ooh, in this scene, I'm going to be sitting in the chair and I'm going to have a pen. And I'm going to kind of flick the pen. And on this line, I'm going to look up and do this thing. And then you get there on the day and you're about to shoot it. And they say, actually, you're not going to be seated. We're going to do the whole thing as a walk and talk. So we're going to be walking down this hallway and the camera is going to be following you. And in your head, so this exact thing happened to me. I'm thinking, wait, I practice all my lines where I'm seated and I have the pen and I'm going to do something cool. Well, now the lines are stuck because you had an idea of what you were going to do, which is very selfish because you're not now playing with the other actor. And now you have to do a walk and talk. So you don't have the prop, you don't have the thing. So for me, the way I like to prepare is be off book, be present, be relaxed, look at your partner, and just wait and have fun. At the end of the day, it's all about having fun. The older I'm getting, the more fun I am having, the more relaxed I'm getting, the less I care. And what I mean by that is I've removed my ego from it. Before, my ego cared more than it should have, but I understand why it was. Yeah, I just learned a lot about myself there too. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for that question. And class is dismissed.